What up, YouTube? Wanted to start a video here and talk about chemotherapy. Um, there's lots of different types of chemotherapy. I did quite a few different drugs. Um, Mind you, I have multiple myeloma, so the drugs that I did were specifically to target, those cancer cells. Um, and there's a whole lot of different stuff you can do. New stuff is coming out all the time too. So sometimes you give it some time. There's a whole new rack of drugs out there that they will have available to you. But for the most part, it's not so bad. You know, there's some really bad stuff out there for sure, but the regular chemo that you would get just as like your standard treatment isn't too harsh. Sometimes it's the drugs that you take with the chemo that is worse. Um, so, for example, like sometimes you have infusion, and before infusion, you have to take steroids, dexamethasone. The dex is something that you don't want to be on for a long time. It's not good for you. It'll tear your gut up for sure. I had like really gnarly holes all in my stomach from taking Dex for a couple years, and I almost bled to death because of that. Honestly, I had to do like endoscopies and stuff like that, and like burn everything closed. Um, but the chemo itself, some chemo makes you feel pretty lousy, like nauseous and stuff like that, but like tired for sure. But I think just like that plus having cancer is what also makes you tired. But at least for me, I never had that bad of, um, like physical feelings from doing chemo. I've done like uh, Revlimid. That's what I'm currently on now. I've done a lot of Revlimid. Revlimid's pretty cake. It's a capsule. Um, you take it typically for 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Um, I've done infusions. I forget the names of them, but like daratumumab and stuff like that. Elotuzumab. Some of the infusions. You know, it's nothing you want to be doing for fun for sure, but for me at least, I didn't have that many like crazy side effects of it. Like I was using marijuana most of the time that I was doing chemo, which can definitely help with nausea. But even when I wasn't using weed, the nausea was never too bad. And if it is, sometimes it does get a little uncomfortable. You'll be pretty nauseous for a period, but they have medication for that. You take ondansetron or stuff similar to that, and that'll knock the nausea right out. And for me, the weed helped a lot, and weed has like very minimal side effects across your whole body compared to like taking medications that can make you constipated or whatever, give you headaches. Um, so that was kind of my choice. Now I'm not doing anything just because smoking is bad regardless. You shouldn't be smoking, but also I'm just not really feeling like being stoned all the time. Um, don't really feel like I need it. So yeah, there's like those types of chemos that some are definitely easier than others to take. A capsule is a lot easier to take than to do an infusion. Sometimes infusions can take like a whole day. So you get your IV and you spend the whole day in your infusion room, and you sleep or watch TV or something, and that's pretty much it. Um, Most of the chemotherapies that I've done don't really affect your hair loss. clearly, like I do chemo every day now, and got some hair. Thank fucking my lucky stars, God, whatever you prefer. Um, but there are some chemotherapies that do make you lose your hair. For example, I was on the hyper CVAD treatment, which I think is a combination of a few different chemotherapies that you get as an infusion. And basically, what I would do is you check into the hospital, and for you know 3-4 days you're in the hospital getting infusion the whole time. And even that, like I didn't really feel that like out of it from it. I felt pretty fine, but I got really bloated from water retention. Like my eyes were like, I was like really puffy. And my dad said, "You look great, honestly. Whatever they're doing to you, they should keep doing it." Because I've always been like thin, so my dad wants to see me put some weight on. But I was telling him, I was like, "That's not the type of weight you want. This is just like all fluid retention." At one point, my ankles and my feet were so swollen, it looked horrible, and it was very uncomfortable. So you got to keep your feet elevated, get that fluid out of there, and try to walk around a bit and work it all through. So the hyper CVAD, it'll do the trick for sure. It kicks the cancer's ass, as long as the cancer is not adapted to it yet. But the hyper CVAD will make you lose your hair. You'll be bald all over, your head, your face, your armpits, your groin, all that. You'll keep like your arm hair, like you'll still have a little bit of hair maybe, but for me it was like mostly gone. I had like a little bit of eyebrows, and some leg hair, but not much. Like everything was pretty gone. And honestly, like losing your hair for me was a bit of a painful process. The follicles become very sensitive, and it hurts, especially like on my head. I couldn't wear a hat at all. Like I always like to wear my hood or like a beanie or something, but it was like very, very sensitive. It hurt a lot. Especially like as the hair is coming out, it takes like a period of time, like a few days, so like a week or something for the hair to like start to come out. So what helped me with that was honestly just shaving my head. As soon as it started to come out, I would just shave it and like not leave the stubble. You hit it with a razor and like get all that down, and that kind of helps with the discomfort a little bit. So yeah, those are like the majority of the kind of chemo treatments that you'll do with multiple myeloma. There's other chemo that they give you when you're doing a stem cell transplant, called melphalan. I think it's like a derivative of like mustard gas or something. It's really gnarly. That stuff sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat that one. The melphalan's rough. But I'll talk more about the. You don't really do that unless you're doing, as far as I know, you wouldn't be doing that unless you're going up for a stem cell transplant. So I'll discuss that more in the video for stem cell transplants. Just because, if you're not doing it, don't worry about it, is what I say. You don't want to overburden your mind with ideas of all this like gnarly stuff that you might have to do. Because, multiple myeloma, it's a terminal illness. It's, at least up to this point, hopefully in the near future, it will have much more effective treatments. But with the multiple myeloma, it's like you'll have remissions, and some people can last years and years and years in remission. But at least for my case, my remissions were very, very short. Maybe like maximum 6 months after 2 stem cell transplants. I have what's called an aggressive form of, or like a highly aggressive multiple myeloma. So they say every case of multiple myeloma is a little different. So you'll talk with your doctor or your oncologist, and you'll kind of have a clear idea of like what you're to expect. And definitely the earlier you catch it, the better you'll be. You want to treat it right away instead of wait until it's a little more advanced. Like I caught mine at stage 3, which isn't a death sentence. At stage 3, I've definitely been through the ringer. I've had it for about 2.5 years now, and I'm in remission now, and I'm feeling great right now. So there's a lot of hope out there. Multiple myeloma is a horrible disease, but at the same time, it's treatable and it's manageable for time. I'm not at the end point yet. So, there's been some moments that I thought I was there, but at least for now, it seems like you can still live a bit of a life. I still go out and I surf, even though the nurses and stuff tell me not to. But my doctor thinks it's okay that I surf, and I still go out and hang out with friends and chill at the beach, skate around and stuff like that. So I'm tired a lot and I sleep a lot. But I can work out as long as you're feeling up to it. I say push it, push the limits of your activity, unless you have some like bone issues. I know it kind of causes like an osteoporosis type effect in your bones. You'd have like Swiss cheese effect in there. So if yours is at that case, like, proceed with caution. You don't want to hurt yourself for sure. But if you're strong enough and your bones are okay to take a little pressure here and there, I get out there and move. Definitely walk a lot and drink a lot of water and eat. Keep your weight up. Do what you can to feel healthy and live a normal life. Cancer can be really heavy on the mind, and it's important to have some normality. And chemo may seem crazy when you're just starting, coming into things, but once you get in the groove of it, it's almost like a job. Like you go in and you do your chemotherapy, every once a week or every day or whatever your schedule is. It kind of becomes normal, which is a little strange to think about, but there's a lot worse things that could be happening in the world, and as long as you got a good support group around you, you'll be okay. And the most important thing is your mental health, for sure. When your physical health is going down, like, as long as you're feeling good up here, there's nothing too big to worry about. So if anyone has any questions about chemotherapies, if you're like up for a certain specific drug and you're curious about it, leave a comment. And if I've been through that one, I'll probably remember the name once I see it. So I'll be able to tell you how it was for me. And good luck. Take care of your diet and let the chemo do its job. But see you guys next time.